Good day, fellow Jersey Nerds, and welcome to episode 68 of the Jersey Nerds podcast, powered by HockeyJerseyConcepts.com. I'm your host, Ryan, and today on the Nerdcast, we're going to be diving into a box of Crayola crayons and picking out those basic ones, the ones that get ground down into a little nub, and if you're lucky enough to have the crayon pencil sharpener, you get to sharpen them back up. But we're going to be looking at some basic colors, and those will be the inspiration for our favorite jerseys in those colors of all time. And it wouldn't be quite the conversation if it was just me talking. So also joining me on this podcast are Shawn. What's going on?
Put that back on. I was watching that. Oh, all right. I was just sleeping through the Jets game.
And you nearly slept through this podcast too.
That's not entirely true.
Sure it isn't. Also joining us is Bpoe. What's going on?
Just recording a podcast, Ryan. How about you?
I love it. Classic every week. And joining us, making his triumphant return, TC. What's going on?
Diddly ho there, neighborino.
It's been a while.
It has indeed. You know, work's been kind of a kick to the groin there lately.
I hear you. Work has sucked for me. At my work, we do sports uniforms. We're slowly getting into baseball season now, and baseball is just boring as hell for me. So I don't really care when everyone's super interested in their baseball uniforms, and they're all like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "I don't really care. It's baseball." But that's that's how it goes. Anyways, we're not talking baseball on this podcast, or else it would suck. We're talking hockey, and we're talking basic colors. So let's get right into it. So if you take a look at your basic box of crayons, there's going to be about 8 colors in there. You can get bigger boxes, whatever. That doesn't matter. But we're taking 5 extremely basic colors here. And there's no real rules on this conversation. It's just taking 5 basic colors, red, blue, green, yellow, and orange, and deciding what your favorite jersey of all time that uses those colors is. So we're going to start off with maybe the easiest color of the batch, and we'll go red. And I'll start us off. My favorite red jersey of all time, I was going to choose the Blackhawks just because it's so classic, but that seems kind of like an easy answer. And then I remembered Team Canada 2002, those red jerseys with the black stripes on the arm and the hem outlined in white with the current Team Canada emblem is probably my favorite red jersey of all time. I think anybody who listens to this podcast knows I like probably boring classic jerseys, and that fits the mold. And the numbering style, which was similar to the Sharks mid-2000s, kind of late 90s numbering, I just thought it fit perfectly. So that's my choice for favorite red jersey of all time. But Shawn, let's go to you. And what is your favorite red jersey of all time?
I wanted to base my picks here off of what my visceral reaction was to, if I think of a red jersey, what do I think of? And for that, it's the Florida Panthers original red jersey. This jersey, despite for the most part being used before I was born, seeing it on hockey cards and stuff like that, and actually owning one, I distinctly remember as I got older, sort of looking at this and looking at what the Florida Panthers were maybe wearing and going, well, why can't they look like this?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I remember that jersey specifically from their 96 Stanley Cup final run. That's where I remember that jersey from. But it's got the colors, but it was never one of my favorites. Like, the color combo is cool, but it's just the way they put it together. It wasn't bad, but I don't know if I would like it. What's that, Shawn?
You might want to put a hyphen there. I like that I will say that you might want to put a hyphen there too, because the edge version of that jersey wasn't particularly bad per se. And, when Yager came back and did what he did in Florida, I think that jersey kind of picks. Let's put a slash there. Let's say any bright red Florida Panthers jersey.
I preferred their later Edge one from 2013 or 2011. Sorry,
Yeah.
when they got rid of the
Yeah.
piping and brought back the red one. That one was pretty good. I think I actually enjoyed that probably more than their original one. But let's go to Bpoe and your favorite red jersey.
I'm going to go with a really boring pick here, but it's a very obvious one, and it's hard to really argue otherwise, except for maybe two other jerseys in the NHL. But I'm going to pick the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, my two runner-ups, I'd say, are the Blackhawks and Red Wings, but the Canadiens ones are just absolutely blow both of those out of the water, in my opinion, especially when you look at the full set. The blue pants and helmet just offset it perfectly. The colors are balanced perfectly. There's just so much color in it. I love it. And longtime listeners will know that I like the Rhodes debatably better than these ones. But the more I look at them, the more that gap it kind of closes, and it's hard for me to honestly say which I like better now. But this is just absolutely my favorite red jersey, I think.
Considering all the small modifications over the years, do you have a specific era where this jersey is your favorite?
I would probably say the final Reebok Edge era, because I've always liked the Reebok Edge cut. Now that the Adidas one is here, the Reebok Edge one is looking a little bit dated in some ways. But the collar, the lace collar on the last one, the lace and solid color collar, is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I'm actually currently wearing an Adidas version of the Canadiens Road jersey, but I wish I had an Edge version of the home jersey, because I do have the Road.
All right, let's go to TC for his favorite red jersey. I'm not expecting the Thrashers motocross jersey here, but maybe you'll surprise me.
You're not expecting it, but it's happening. No, I'm kidding. You know what? I had something else, but then I noticed your profile picture, and it brought up a very interesting dilemma for me, because my original, I was going to fit in with Bpoe's original 6 bias there and go with the Red Wings, but not the Red Wings you're thinking of. I was thinking the 2014 Winter Classic. I just love the use of vintage white. I loved the font choice that they made. The yoke striping was fantastic. And there was just something about putting the captain and alternate patches in the striping. But then Ryan's picture of him wearing the Calgary Flames Heritage Classic jersey really tossed a monkey wrench into it.
I forgot about that
one.
Because
I also love that jersey. And I know most people probably wouldn't say, oh, it's like a crimson. It's not a red. No, it's a red.
It's red. It's definitely red.
Yeah. It's kind of Ronald McDonald looking, but if I'm going off of which one I would rather have, I'm going to give this one to the Flames Heritage Classic. I think it's a much more distinct looking jersey.
I kind of forgot about that jersey when considering the red jersey. I'm sticking with my Team Canada pick, but this rockets up the list to second place. I kind of forgot about this one. That's a solid pick. I really like that pick. All right, let's move on to the blue jerseys. And my favorite, this is my favorite all-time jersey. It's the 1967 Maple Leafs jersey. I guess 67 to 70 Maple Leafs jersey with the leaf on the front that matches the Canadian flag. It's got the thicker white stripe outlined in thinner white stripes. Lace collar neck. It's just my favorite all-time jersey. Love the simple layout of it. Just the colors look really clean. Not much more to say about it. It's simple. It completely suits my personality. It's all business. There's nothing frilly about this jersey. It's just clean, simple, gets down to business, gets the job done. This jersey represents me. Shawn, let's go to you for your blue jersey.
All right, well, I'm going to pick a jersey I feel represents me, and that's the Winnipeg Jets home jersey.
Current?
There's nothing particularly, I should say which, because they've never not worn a home blue jersey. The current one.
So the Adidas cut.
Yeah, let's go with the Adidas cut because I kind of like the collar.
Okay.
But the jersey has stayed the same since the move from Atlanta, and simple but different. Before the Jets did what they did with the arm stripes, no team really done that before, working with that Reebok template. There's nothing here that's super out there per se, but they did everything that they could given the constraints of it, and trying to keep things classic, and they did exactly that. The logos have aged beautifully. The color scheme, they made double blue theirs, and surprisingly, probably the biggest thing was that they took rounded italicized numbers and brought them into the new millennium.
Good points there. Bpoe, your favorite blue jersey?
I have a question before I make my final pick.
Of course you do, yep.
Get off your fence.
Do we consider the Turd Burger a blue or a yellow jersey?
Oh, it's not even considered.
Blue.
It's not even considered.
It's green because it's an equal mix of yellow and blue. So that can be your favorite green jersey.
No. You know what the Turd Burger is jersey wise? The Turd Burger is a used restaurant crayon. Where
when it's got some jerk kid
colored in, like, it looks like a blue crayon that colored in on the yellow, so it's got a little bit of yellow on it, and it won't color either color. It colors brown. Disqualified.
Fuck that kid.
He's not wrong.
Okay.
If you choose Turd Burger, Bpoe, I'm hanging up on you.
Now that we've got Turd Burger jokes out of the way, as much as I ironically love that jersey, I'm going to give this one, my two runners up, I'm going to say are the same one Ryan had, are the Toronto 67 jersey and the New York Rangers, because the Rangers are just classic. But I'm going to give this one to Vancouver. The current ones. I honestly think they have some of the most underrated jerseys in the league. I think these are some of the best in the league, and we normally don't talk about them as if they are.
They have a split collar, you ass.
The Rangers have a contrasting pentagon, and I debate that looks even worse.
Both of them are cardinal sins. I'm not picking the Rangers current. God.
He's
not
wrong.
If you count the Edge version, fine. It doesn't really matter. I'm going more off of the design than the tiny nitpicks, at least whenever it comes to that. But
I'm really surprised, Bpoe. I'm really surprised that you're picking this, just because I thought for the majority of people, the arched Vancouver script just ruins this jersey.
It does.
I was going to get to that. I love the color combination, especially the road one. I think it just balances the colors perfectly. It's a unique color combination. And there's really only two things about this jersey that I don't like. Actually, three. It's the number and name font. I think that would look better as a basic block font or a more unique block font, just a block font than a rounded one. The arched Vancouver, I don't entirely despise it, but I don't like it by any means. And
fence sitter.
I think with the rumored changes that they're making next year, that might be removed, or the logo might be changed, which is going to make these jerseys much, much better, and that half collar again. But if you count the Reebok Edge version, I guess you don't have to worry about the half collar.
Well, I can't believe you went that route. But I think we know the route TC might go here, but let's find out. TC, your favorite blue jersey.
Bpoe, you're so goddamn stupid. You had the Penguins, my runner-up, the Penguins 1977-80 jersey, that navy blue with the upper arm of white and that baby blue striping. That is gorgeous. Second only to the king of all jerseys, the New York Rangers 1963-76. The first iteration to have the tie-down collar and the upright diagonal text. It was the original for the design that they've used pretty much, with the exception of a little freak out in the 70s, for the past 50 years. When you've got the best, you don't need to change it.
It is classic. It's so hard to argue with that Rangers jersey. Even with the Edge system, 10 years ago or however long that was, and then the Adidas jerseys coming in, it's really hard to screw up that jersey. And even the little pentagon shape in the collar isn't even that offensive. The Rangers jersey is incredibly strong. So I'd have to put that second place for me, but that's a fantastic jersey. TC's got a great point there. Let's move to green jerseys now. And my pick here is it's because of childhood memories. The Leafs were in the Chuck Norris division back in the 80s, and as were the Minnesota North Stars. So I'm choosing their green jersey from 88 to 91. And this had the black stripe in between the gold and the white stripe. And then they also had it thin stripes underneath the shoulder yokes too. And it all just worked. It had like the blocky drop shadow numbers. The colors looked fantastic together. I remember these jerseys rolling into Maple Leaf Gardens and just that white and blue versus green, gold, white and black looking fantastic. These jerseys were in the Stanley Cup Finals in 91 against the Penguins, and they looked fantastic there too. So these are they're definitely not the best all-time green jerseys, but these are my favorite all-time green jerseys. Shawn, who do you have?
I am also picking the Stars, but the Dallas Stars, and I'm giving it to the Star body jersey. That is their home from 1999 to 2007, and for the same reason you did, childhood. I can remember almost the entire roster that team had during that time period with Turco in net, Zubov, Arnott, Guerin, Modano, Hatcher, bunch of guys that played together for years. Real thorn in the side of the Canucks during that era, because before Winnipeg, I had to experiment with other teams. Really solid logo set. Happily own one. And it's weird because, is it actually a green jersey? That's debatable,
I always felt like it was a black jersey.
Yeah.
No, we've had this discussion way too many times. We never come to an end. We have to shut it down here.
Fair enough.
It's like a zebra. It's the zebra of jerseys. But for the sake of it, I'm going to call it a green jersey because the logo sits in the green part of the jersey.
I'll accept it. That's fine.
So we'll take it as that. But if I can't pick that one, the Desert Scene Phoenix jersey, because I'm sitting right next to it, and it's the only other green jersey I have with me.
What a terrible choice. But going back to that Stars debate, that'll be a podcast during the middle of the summer when nothing's going on, and we'll have to crack open a few beers and get down to the brass tacks of it. Is it a black jersey? Is it a green jersey? That'll be during the summer, though. Bpoe, your favorite green jersey of all time?
Another thing we can talk about on that podcast is my pick for green jersey, as we debated earlier on this podcast, the Turd Burger.
I hate you.
I'm just kidding, of course. I'll try not to bring it up again whenever yellow comes up, but I can't promise. But my real pick, I'm going to go with Minnesota's current home jersey. I just think this jersey is beautiful, and I honestly need it in my collection. It's a perfect way to, it's a perfect use of their identity. The chest stripe frames the logo really well, and their shade of green is absolutely gorgeous. And I would pick Dallas, maybe, their currents, but it just leaves more to be desired. It's not quite original enough. And while I don't see it as like a rip-off of the Hawks like others do, I don't see it as groundbreaking enough compared to Minnesota's, how they fit their whole identity into it. The only things I don't really like about it are that I think the chest stripe should wrap around to the back and that damn pentagon again. But other than that, I just absolutely love this one.
Great choice. That's maybe my favorite Adidas jersey. Vegas is pretty good too, but that's a fantastic choice. All right, let's talk about our favorite yellow jerseys now. I'm exiting the NHL for this choice here, and I'm heading on over to the WHAuniforms.com, run by the same guy who does NHLuniforms.com. And I'm looking in the direction of the Cincinnati Stingers, and they had a very Boston Bruins-esque type jersey, but This one's my favorite. Yellow jersey, white stripes on the arm and hem, thin black stripes, a little bit of craziness. So hard for me to describe, but check it out on whauniforms.com. But the So 70s logo really caps off this jersey. And it, as the team named the Stingers, the jersey does exactly what it's supposed to. So the yellow jersey for the Cincinnati Stingers is my favorite yellow jersey of all time. Shawn.
Why don't we head up to Nashville, but take it back about 15 years? And the Mustard Tiger is my favorite yellow jersey. Talk about a jersey that was not appreciated at the time of unveiling. Just talk about something that everybody looked at it and said, "You suck, get out." And yet years later, everybody went, "Oh, those are great." Oh, no. I've said these were solid for most of their existence. The claw mark stripes, the weird meshy pattern, square collar, I love it all. Even the isometrically angled, stupid tiger head.
Didn't they have to layer different fabrics to get that color? Yeah. Like, it's not a true color?
No, it's exactly right. That's the other reason why I like it, is because the jersey itself changes color based on how you look at it. So I've never understood the argument that, oh, it looks puke green. It's like, yeah, because you're looking at it from the side. The NHL uniforms, I think, has the best sort of version of that color, because it's actually a lot lighter than people give it credit for. But yeah, no, I think this jersey, it at one point was the only NHL jersey for years.
It's a great choice. I mean, I did enjoy the one they came out with in 2011 as their actual home jersey, and I thought that was probably the only team that made the best use of Reebok Edge kind of trends. But this mustard jersey does hold a soft spot in my heart, so I'll go with you on that choice.
Collar.
Nothing wrong with little square collar. Very popular.
Can you explain it to me? What possible reason could you have for making the collar look like that?
They must have been playing too much Minecraft.
Mustard Tiger.
He's got you there. Mustard Tiger. Boom. Done. That's enough said. All right, Bpoe, your favorite yellow jersey of all time.
I'm going to give this one technically to two jerseys because they're pretty much exactly the same. It's Boston's 1958 and 59 jerseys that were later brought back with minor edits as their 2010 Winter Classic jersey. And I'm going to take the Winter Classic version over the original because I really like the changes that they made, such as the rounded B in the logo, which couldn't work full time, I don't think, but perfect for a one-off. And I really love the brown that they brought back as well, instead of just going with black. It's a nice change of pace from their usual black and gold, since they actually have a great opportunity to bring in a unique color like that. And it's just a very simple and classic jersey that I don't really know how else to explain it, really. It's just simple, basic, looks great.
Yeah, that was one of my choices too. Definitely in the top group of yellow jerseys there. TC, finish us off on the color yellow.
Well, my yellow fellow will be the Los Angeles Kings 1980 to 88. This was the one with the big swooping forum blue extended yoke that went all the way down to the cuffs, that little white piping around it, the original Crown logo, and I just thought it paired fantastically with those gold helmets.
They really did. That is one of the best uses of gold helmets ever. And I'm actually really surprised that Bpoe didn't go with a Pittsburgh choice.
That was going to be my choice until I remembered that Boston jersey.
So
Don't worry, my bias will come into play on the orange jersey.
Which you got a few choices for Pittsburgh. So let's just go with it quickly. Which yellow Pittsburgh jersey is the best?
The original one, the 81 to 84 version.
Even
I'm
in
pretty
all
sure they
its,
reacted the same.
even with all its mesh and screen print glory, it's still the best.
I'm mainly going off of the design here, not necessarily the actual manufacturing of it,
Fair enough.
because that wasn't great. But I think that was more a product of its time than anything else.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's what always turned me off from the jersey, but I can understand that. All right, let's move to our final color here, orange. This gets a little bit trickier. There weren't too many orange jerseys, but my choice is a more recent choice. Going back to 2015 and the Anaheim Ducks orange alternate. I love this jersey. I was sad to see it go. It just fit their current identity so well, tied into the Mighty Ducks era, looked like a hockey jersey. Just everything about this jersey I really like. There's lots of colors going on, but they really pop. They all stand out. And this is my favorite orange jersey of all time. Shawn.
It's very difficult not to just hand this to Philly because they not only have the 3D beveled logo midlife crisis thing, but they also have the 2012 Winter Classic jerseys, which I think are two examples of how to do an orange jersey right. But I'm giving it to neither of them. Give those nice honorable mentions because the Alberta Oilers 1972-73 jerseys are some of my favorite of all time. And I picked these ones over the 2015 iterations of these jerseys because of how massive the yoke is. There's nothing better than seeing a 40-something-year-old Jacques Plante just chilling in these bright orange 70s messes.
He looks like in that one photo you're talking about, Shawn, he looks like he should have like a big glass of red wine and just being like, yes, I stop pucks on weekends.
It just looks like he's got the biggest grin. It's like you think about how maybe noble's not the word, but how professional he looked with like the Canadiens, like how classic that imagery is. And then his sort of rebirth near the end of his career with Toronto in the early 70s. And then just after all of that, he gets to throw on like near neon orange with massive shoulder yoke and not even his name on the back of the jersey. And he's just taking it all in. That perfectly defines early 70s hockey. And these jerseys are absolutely wonderful. And I'm so glad Edmonton now wears orange at home right now. They always looked better in orange.
Well, I can't necessarily agree on that, but it is a good look. Let's go to Bpoe for your top orange jersey.
Well, like I said, my bias is going to play into this one a little bit, and I was originally going to pick Philly because they really do seem like an obvious choice until you remember some of the other ones because they pretty much own orange. I mean, not Anaheim, Edmonton now wears orange as their primary home, but I think it's safe to say that Philly really owns it. They're the team I think that's most well known with it. They've been doing it for much longer than Edmonton has been, and it's honestly a gorgeous jersey. As much as I hate the team, the current away collar isn't great, but that's the away jersey. But my pick is going to be the modern rendition of Shawn's choice, actually, which is the Edmonton 2015-17 alternate. As opposed to Shawn, I like the more toned down shoulder yoke on this one. I think the colors work really well together. I love the shoulder numbers. I know Phil especially. He's always against shoulder numbers, but I've never been against it. If just in principle, I think there's a way to do it right, and there's a way to do it wrong. I think do it right here, and I also will always remember the reaction that I had at the 2015 draft when they unveiled this jersey by giving it to McDavid. I was more excited about the actual jersey than the actual pick.
Well, interesting, but I guess time will tell what turns out to be the better thing there, the pick or the jersey. It's probably going to be the pick, but whatever. TC?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the pick.
Yeah.
I would say that it's more so the rest of the organization that would be the problem there, not the actual pick.
Yeah, it might be a bit of a problem. Jeez. TC, finish us off here. You're the best orange jersey of all time.
Best orange jersey. I'm going to throw a curveball at you. And I'm going to go with the 1984-86 Orange All-Star Game jersey.
Oh, someone did go All-Star Game. All right.
I had to. It's got the beautiful diagonal script a la my beloved New York Rangers, the full-length black yoke, the stars going both down the arms and across the hem. And I just think it's the best that I could find with an orange jersey. I was tempted to go Philly, like everyone was, but I just thought that was too obvious of a pick and thought I'd shake things up a bit.
Fair enough. I think really shaking things up would be going back a few years there to the 1982 All-Star Game jersey. If you have NHLuniforms.com in front of you, go check this thing out.
But I was going for one that I actually liked, not one just to throw a monkey wrench in the works.
This one, I guess this one would be more on the worst side, but it pretty much took an orange jersey and then wherever there was space after applying crests and some black triangles, they just started throwing stars on there. So there's got to be at least, I would say, close to 40 stars on each jersey. So the 82 All-Star Game jersey gets honorable mention from me, but I do like your choice of 84 to 86. 88 has so much potential, but it's a little too quiet. There could have been a little bit more white, I guess, thrown on there. So I guess I'd have to agree with you. I'm happy that you pulled out an All-Star Game pick there. That's a solid choice. That's a great choice, actually. Really enjoy that choice. So there we go. If you're rummaging through your box of crayons, there's our top picks. I really thought that would actually, to be honest with you, I thought there'd be more questions from Bpoe about different shades and what's allowed and what's not allowed. But Bpoe, you kept on track. You didn't sit on the fence that much. So I'm not going to lie. I'm proud of you. Way to go.
Wait,
Thanks,
so I don't get
Brian.
to pick my favorite black jersey?
No, never.
We all know what the best black jersey in history is. It's Tampa Bay's new one.
No, it's the Islanders. It's the Islanders black alternate, the first one. We know this. It's in all the textbooks now.
Shawn, we've already done 30
How
minutes.
How could I forget?
We've already done 30 minutes on all the colors. We can't do 30 minutes just on you, on your love of black jerseys. Because you'd be like,
all right, I'll make it quick. All of them.
all of them.
All of them.
You'd be
All
sitting
of
there
them.
like,
Shawn would be like, let's see. My pick is the Islanders' first alternate, but my runner-up is the Islanders' second alternate, and Tampa Bay is in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, and every other black jersey in existence. Just name them all off.
there's another summer podcast idea. Shawn reminisces about black jerseys from the late 90s. That's
I was
Summer
like,
podcast.
I
Shawn
was
literally
at
does
oldest.
nothing.
Let's make this clear. I was at oldest 3 in the mid 90s or late 90s. Shit.
but you still have a love for all those jerseys, so
You know.
So
All
here's
right.
what the summer podcast is going to be. Shawn does nothing but literally list off every single black jersey that ever existed.
And why he loves them.
Nope, he just lists the jersey.
Just list them. All right, well, that's what we got for you here on the Jersey Nerds podcast. Be sure to subscribe to all of our podcasts across the network. On Thursdays, we have Fake or Authentic. On Saturdays, we have Throwback Throwdown. Right now on hockeyjerseyconcepts.com, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets redesign featuring Stinger as the primary logo for the home and road jersey. So entries for that are due February 22nd. And then also beginning on the evening of February 22nd will be our next competition, which will be a Montreal Maroons redesign. So we're looking for a basic home and road jersey there for the Montreal Maroons. You can choose any era to do those concepts in. Up to 2 alternates are optional, but you can include those. So we're looking forward to that. That begins on February 22nd. Like to thank Shawn, TC, and Bpoe for being on the podcast this week. And as always, we want to hear what you guys think. Let's hear your choices for favorite colors: blue, red, green, yellow, and orange. You can get to us on Twitter @HockeyJC, or you can email your choices to podcast@hockeyjerseyconcepts.com. Thank you for listening, everybody, and goodbye.